Namaskar. Good morning, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, those who are listening, watching from the different educational institutes, Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, Atlanta, Edinburgh, California, Pennsylvania, in the different universities, and the different representatives of the different cultures today are being organized in the USA. Today, the whole world is celebrating this day as a Yoga.International Day. In all the countries, in all the representatives of our nation, India had its distinctive, matchless, unparalleled identity in the history of yoga, pranayama, asana, meditation. These are the most ancient, traditional and conventional therapies of the world. And here we see this was the lifestyle of all the people. But today, in the medical science, in the stream of Ayurveda, we study it as the most curable treatment of the human body, through which we can correlate and associate with the nature by being friendly and familiar. The whole world observing, examining and evaluating a lot of changes in the nature. There are disturbances, imbalances. That is the cause of inhumanitarian actions of the human beings. If we spend our time with nature, then we feel that man and nature both are interconnected. These are interrelated to each other. Moreover, we can say these are complementary. One does not have importance without another. It can be said about man and nature. Our daily routine, when do we get up in the morning? How do we start our morning time? It is a matter of research for all the research scholars. Whether they are doing research from any Indian university or from any world level university like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge. Our research scholars are busy in doing research on the things which are created by man. But through the Indian research philosophy and Indian research psychology, we reach at the conclusion that nature is the largest title or topic for the researchers. All developing nations are so associated with the nature. Today, India is efforting well to be familiar with nature like other developed countries. In the presence of our President Dr. Modi ji, whose presence itself is the symbol of existence of nature. Our Indian culture addressed, appealed, advocated to the worldly people about the presence of existence of Lord of God in the form of nature. Foreigners believe that nature is their God, which is written in the Holy Scripture of the Holy Bible. Our human body is the temple of God. Our heart is the seat of God. Obviously, it is written by the repetition method of the sound. We can regenerate, recreate and reoperate our country, society, family, personally, professionally, and even publicly. When we go through the glimpses of the history which is attached with the progress of our nation, that is really a great fundamental or basics to do something better, nicer, finer for our Indian culture. Whenever the world faces such natural devastations, natural calamities, natural disasters like the heavy rainfall, flood, drought, volcanic eruptions, these changes happen due to imbalances in the nature. And India is the strongest ardent believer of these five elements by which our human body is made: air, fire, soil, sky and water. These basic fundamentals, elements and objects of nature by which our human body is made, whether these are immortal elements of the human body. Man's compositional body is mortal and perishable according to our all holy religions of this holy land. Our forefathers, foretellers, forecasters, those who came first on this land, they addressed to the world about its spiritual values, ethical and moral values, which is the basic standard of our education, basic standard of our health, that is totally related to the nature. All the beginners of the different religions, those who are omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, almighty, those who were and those who will, in present, past and future. They never leave us alone and indicate whether their physical body is not being adjusted, but their words, thoughts, ideas, lifestyles, manners, talents are still alive in the world. Swami Vivekananda, who is the role model of our present present position, he addressed to the worldly people about this Govt.International Day, that our study is based upon the Vedas. Today we study different subjects like mathematics, science, social science, laws. But in the ancient time, when we see the glimpse of our literature, we find that there was only the existence of all our holy religions of this holy land. And that can be said mega science. Today in this scientific age, by the different inventions, innovations, while using digitalization, we feel that nature is different from us. But on that extent, when we do not justify with this modernization, with this westernization, then we return to the most ancient, traditional, conventional values of our nation. Whether we are going, our futuristic generation is going ahead by changing the time. Numberless, uncounted advancements in science we have around us. That is the symbol of advancement of our nation. But we cannot avoid the value of nature, environment, atmosphere. That is the base of all worldly cultures. All the cultures of the world, in all the streams of science, we firstly prefer nature. If at any moment we do not pay attention towards the creation of nature, then we are not the true patriotic and nationalistic citizen or person of any country. In the different literatures of the world, Britishers, Canadian, American, Australian, Spanish, they have written in their own dialect, in their own representative languages, they praised nature. Nature never deceives us, never cheat, defeat, and deceive or betray us. It is always helpful, helper, and healer of the human beings. Today, this modern science, modern medical science, we have different type of treatments for treating the different diseases. Even irremediable diseases are being treated through the medical science. But when this medical science feels helpless in providing treatment to this such kind of corona kind of drastic diseases, epidemics, then ultimately they pray to God, they pray to nature. So this is the power of nature that should be understood by our Indian citizens. We cannot see the nature individually because it correlates, it shows the interdependency with the ecology. Whether we are advancing and we have become the user of 5G network, our common general layman of our society has become the best user of modern technology. 40% transactions are being done from the lasers. That is recordable for the worldly people. If we compare the users of this modern technology, then Indian citizens are not lagging behind in any sort. So it is the great identity of the Indian mind. Indian culture has converted old to world, global to local, by creating independent India, by making India. How we can become independent? If we spend our daily routine with the nation, we do our own personal individual works by ourselves, then it is the way, it is the lifestyle, natural lifestyle that is required in India. Our present President Modi addressed to the worldly people for starting, for becoming the job creators, not the job seekers. In the different fields of agriculture, industry, communication, transportation, railways, post offices, banking and hospitals. In every field we see India is growing and it is at the 5th level of economy in the world. The day is not away when the India will celebrate 100 years of independence. Today we are celebrating 75th days of the independence in the form of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. What is the true freedom? That is the freedom of our soul. Today, at the social sites, through social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google websites, we have become the user of such technologies. If the speed of internet is so fast, it's so accurate, then how is the speed of this soul? That is the true topic of research that can be provided only by doing yoga, pranayama, asana, meditation. Our all investors, scholars and learners, they are just running after downloading, recording, imitating, copying. It is well and good to appreciate works of others, to admire and praise the works of others. But what innovative approach we have provided to that task, it does matter. According to the base principle or doctrine of this Indian culture, our nation is known by its imagination. Imagination is the best educational technology. If our investors will follow imagination, definitely our Indian citizens will become creator, generator and operator. Man is not slave to nature, but not also the master of nature, but friend of nature. So familiarly and friendly, by adopting the path of humanity, about which the common concept of all holy religions claim, that the true aim or objective of our soul is to attain salvation or emancipation from the cycle of birth and death, which is the ultimate aim of yoga. Today we have become the practitioner of yoga, pranayama, meditation, asanas. These are the most ancient, traditional, conventional therapies of our nation. But we should not forget that the ultimate aim of yoga is to get salvation or emancipation. How we can get salvation? This is a great question among the holy religions of this holy land. In all the holy scriptures, we listen some specific structures of sound that make us able to feel the presence of Lord or God. If we speak, read, listen, write with 100% presence of mind, then it shows the presence, existence of Lord or God. A power, a strength which can never leave us alone. Bottom to top, root to fruit, first to last. Our own freedom fighters, free thinkers, messengers, prophets, great men, even startups of the different religions, their aim was totally selfless service. Selflessly, they spent their time without coming in violation of time. Swami Vivekananda advocated in his philosophy for doing the work unrelentingly, unceasingly, unstoppingly. Continuity or regularity is another name of success. Dear friends, success is not the name of any platform. Doctors in medical science know this thing. Our mind creates 216 ideas in 1 minute. Common man, general man. But the mind of engineers, doctors, administrators, advisors, advocates, they have unlimited power of thinking and thoughts. Who is the maker of this mind? If man's mind is so powerful that it can create such inventive and innovative technologies like cameras, internets, we feel astonished, surprised by using such technologies. But how is the mind of the starters of these inventive, innovative skills? It is the topic of research. Unlimited, incomparable, unparalleled, matchless power of that God or Goddess. The topic of research for man, who is speaking in us, who is reading in us, who is listening in us, who is writing in us. These are the topics that connects us, relates us with the existence of God or God, through which we can be the practitioner of yoga, pranayama, dhyan, asana. When we get the space where there is no discrimination between up and down, where there is no classification of like and dislike. Today, through the man's mind, man invented a lot of techniques. We see in our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe. All these actions happen in our mind. So our mobile has become the fast friend of this modern man. But mobile is only the mind of man. But who is the maker of this mind? How is he? Who is he? It is the true topic of research for our research scholars. For providing such innovative and inventive ideas, India takes a great place, provides a lot of energy to the working people. Who is the maker of this mind? Who is the controller of the universe? Who has control of the water bodies? Who directs, instructs the air to blow in particular direction? Who is he? That is the power to whom in different holy religions it is said by the different names. Some says Om, Allah, God, Vaheguru. But the common concept is that man is made by five elements: air, fire, soil, sky and water. We are to Vipassana meditation. But in this materialistic world, man has become so busy in collecting luxuries, comfortabilities, conveniences, but the day is not away when the same man has to turn and twist towards spiritual science, our power of spiritualism. India is known by its spiritual values, not by materialistic values. Whether India has become the winner from the corona with having 140 crore people in the world. But the true identity of our culture is patience, sacrifice, martyrdom, renunciation. These are some of the features, symbols of our Indian culture, by which we are known internationally. Let us be true towards the nature. Nature always gives cooperation. It cooperates, supports, it fills us with everlasting soothing effect of mind and heart. Great pleasure, happinesses, true pleasure, true happinesses, it can provide us. We can avoid the presence of Lord or God. Around us we have animals, birds, plants, trees, all these are the forms of Lord or God. Apart from it, in the daytime, we worship the sun as the sun god. According to Indian cultural values, according to our philosophical values, the moon is God, the stars is God. Numberless gods and goddesses we have created according to our Hindu mythology. So we feel the presence of God or God in these universal or celestial bodies. This knowledge was addressed by Swami Vivekananda to the worldly people in 1893 when he went to the USA in Chicago. Our present Govt.International also recreating the history through the land of New York in the USA. That is the great need to tell the worldly people when we recapture the time of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, who born in 1469, and by the birth of such inventor or innovator of Sikhism or Hinduism, he proved that the world has come in form of its existence by light. That light is not a simple light. That was the form of its own form, incomparable light that created. Swami Vivekananda also went in the USA in 1893. He proved that we feel the existence or presence of Lord even in lightless and soundless places of the world. Through the Advaita Ashram, through the Vedanta philosophy, he proved it. When Swamiji went to the USA, some books was kept in front of him at his table. The Holy Bhagavad Gita, the Quran Sharif, the Guru Sahib, the Holy Bible. Then Swami Vivekananda kept it at the lowest level, basics of our culture by which we are known. Our identification starts from our air, Indian fire, Indian soil, Indian sky, and Indian water. This was the true message of Indian nationalistic feelings. If we are the real or true nationalistic and patriotic person of this holy land of India, Indian native land, always messaged us to be tolerated, to be patient. Let us listen the philosophies, outcomes of this International Yoga Day from our present Chancellor Modi ji, who went in the USA at night at 12 a.m. He landed on the land of New York, which is the World Trade Center, and India will establish new relations on the basis of trade and defense. There are two affairs on which India is needed to be, that are commerce and defense. At the international level, it is the great need of our nation to be the creator of these defense kind of weapons. That earlier India was importing from different countries. And there was war-like situation between India and China. At that time, India also took support from the USSR. Russia also supported India in providing defense weapons. Our first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who adopted the principle of non-alliance. He started non-alliance movement. He told to the worldly people that India is not in favor of any developing nation. Between 1945 to 90, India was the support of the USSR, because the USSR was in power at that time, and India was the greatly needed country of international help. But after 1990, India needs the help of the USA in the different fields of science, medical science, commerce, arts and engineering. So for establishing new relations internationally in the presence of the President of the USA, Biden, it will bring a great fruitful result internationally that Indian people is expecting. We all have the hope for the betterment and upliftment of our society and nation in future. Once again, I thank all of you, those who are listening, searching something better, nicer, finer on this Yoga International Day. Congratulate all of